Welcome to our continuing series, Questions and Answers, from the works of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother. Today, Food, Part 3, from Sri Aurobindo. To suppress hunger like that is not good. It very often creates disorders. I doubt whether fatness or thinness of a healthy kind depends on the amount of food taken. There are people who eat well and remain thin, and others who take only one meal a day and remain fat. By underfeeding, taking less than the body really needs, one may get emaciated, but that is not a healthy state. The doctors say it depends mostly on the working of certain glands. Anyhow, the important thing is now to get the nervous strength back. As for the liver, also, eating little does not help. Very often it makes the liver sluggish, so that it works less well. What is recommended for liver trouble is to avoid greasy food and much eating of sweets, and that is also one way of avoiding fat. But to eat too little is not good. It may be necessary in some stomach or intestinal illness, but not for the ordinary liver trouble. This feeling of not being able to eat and of eating being unnecessary is a sort of suggestion that is coming to several people. It should be rejected and cleared out of the system, as it may lead to weakening of the body by taking insufficient food. Often one does not feel weak at first. A vital energy comes up which supports the body, but later on the body weakens. This feeling may sometimes come when one is going much inside and there is no insistence on the bodily needs, but it should not be accepted. If it is rejected, it is likely to disappear. What is necessary is to take enough food and think no more about it, taking it as a means for the maintenance of the physical instrument only. But just as one should not overeat, so one should not diminish unduly. It produces a reaction which defeats the object, for the object is not to allow either the greed for food or the heavy tamas of the physical, which is the result of excessive eating, to interfere with the concentration on the spiritual experience and progress. If the body is left insufficiently nourished, it will think of food more than otherwise. Too much eating makes the body material and heavy. Eating too little makes it weak and nervous. One has to find the true harmony and balance between the body's need and the food taken. It depends on what you can digest. If you can digest, there is no harm in taking more, since you feel hungry. All these things depend upon what is the true need of the body, and that may differ in different cases, according to the constitution of the body, the amount of work done, or exercise taken. it is possible that you have reduced your food too much, so you can try taking more. But it is quite natural. Exercise is always supposed to increase the appetite, as the body needs more food to restore the extra expense of energy put out. Normally, the more physical work the body has to do, the more food it needs. On the other hand, mental work requires no increase of food. That has been ascertained scientifically by experiment. Hunger may increase by other causes, but when it coincides with the taking up of play or physical exercise of a strenuous character, that is sufficient to explain it. If the stomach pains are strong, you can abstain from work for a day or two till they have subsided. Of course, if you feel that you suffer from anything else but liquid food, that settles the question. You can take liquid food only. And if you take liquid food only, then you will not be strong enough to work. But usually the thought takes a big part in determining these things. The mind has the impression that any solid food will hurt, and the body follows. So naturally, as a result, any solid food does begin to hurt. The mental or vital vigor does not depend on the food. It is the physical that after a time begins to get strained if there is not sufficient nourishment. One can bring down the strength from above, but it is also necessary to see that the body has sufficient food, sleep, and rest. Absence of these things strains the nerves, and if the nerves are strained, the body feels fatigue, becomes weakened. Namaste.